Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I had a pretty interesting idea for my video today. I actually was just going to create these looks and just take photos of them for comparison, but then I started thinking about all the things I wanted to say and I was like, maybe this is better as a video. So that's what we're gonna do today. So the idea is that I'm going to compare my old makeup routine versus my current mascara beauty makeup routine. It's kind of tricky because after I started using mascara for a few months, I loved it so much. And I mean, within a few months, I decluttered and got rid of almost all of my old makeup. I really am kicking myself for doing that now because then I have a really limited supply of what I can use for this video, but also it would be neat to kind of see all the stuff I had before versus all the stuff I have now, but I got rid of it. I got rid of all my makeup brushes, everything. So I pulled from the small little collection that I have left for this look. So I want to create what I would have done for my everyday makeup look a couple years ago before I started using mascara, and then do my mascara routine and see how they look different or how they look similar, which one looks better, that kind of thing. I really don't know how this is going to turn out. But I'm basically going to try to recreate my makeup look from a couple years ago exactly the way I would have done it then. Not necessarily how I would do it now, but how I did it then, and to see the differences. Like I said, I had decluttered a lot of my makeup, so I didn't have that much to select from today. The stuff that I had left in my collection was like favorites that I had had for a long time that I really loved, or makeup items that were kind of expensive that I just couldn't bear to throw away, or things that I had just recently purchased that I knew were still good that I just couldn't bear to throw away. So I was able to pull from that to create what I would have done with my old makeup routine pretty nicely. Some of the stuff is more spendy items because that's all I had left. The only thing I had to purchase for today's video is my old foundation. So I bought the same color that I would have used before. And so yeah. And if you hear my little kiddos in the background, they are around. They are having a little screen time so I can do this video. So if you hear some noises, like my son laughing, even though he knows he's not supposed to be, that's what it is. Okay, so let's get started. I'm really nervous. I don't know why I'm so nervous, but I haven't used like a liquid foundation in over 2 years. So it's gonna be really, I feel like I'm nervous for how this is gonna feel on my face, but we're gonna do it. Okay, so first things first. I didn't use a primer before or anything like that. So first things first, I would have started with foundation, and I didn't even wear foundation every day, but I thought just for a good comparison, we'll go for it. So the foundation that I used to use is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Makeup. Oh, this is the kind that has SPF in it. I'm not sure if the other one I did had that in it or not, but I used the shade N1 Soft Ivory. So this is more of like the neutral range, and I use the lightest shade. I'm not sure if that's gonna be a good match for me these days, but we'll just try. So I used to apply my makeup with my fingers. So I would get some on my finger and just apply that everywhere, I guess. And I didn't even use brushes or like sponges or anything. I just used my fingers. This is actually a really good match for me still. I mean, it hasn't been that long, but I just didn't know what it would look like, you know? Okay, so that's it for the foundation. It doesn't look that bad, actually. It was weird to put a liquid on my skin, but it blended in okay. Now I'm going to use concealer. So this was my favorite concealer, and this is a little bit old, so it's the same L'Oreal True Match Crayon concealer, I guess. So it's like Crayon Corrector, and it's in the shade N123, so it's like the matching shade. And I would always put this around my nose because I have a lot of redness right here. around my nostrils. Just pat that in with my finger. And then I would put that under my eyes to cancel out my under eye circles. And I would just pat it in with my finger like this. I use my fingers for my makeup a lot. And I guess that's it. I have a couple blemishes that I would normally try to cover up. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a powder all over my face. Because that's what I used to do. I used to really like the matte look, and I felt like it locked it in and made me less oily throughout the day, which I'm not so sure that worked anymore, but it's beside the point. So I'm using my mascara brushes because that's all I have. So I'm just using a loose powder. This is from Honest Beauty. This isn't what I would have used before, but it's what I have. It's similar to what I would have used. So I'm just gonna, it's so powdery. Got in my mouth a little bit. I would have set my whole face. I wasn't a huge fan of bronzer really ever, but I did have this Bobbi Brown bronzer in the shade Golden Light. So I'm just gonna use it. And I definitely held on to this bronzer just because it was a little bit more expensive and I just didn't want to throw it away. So this is what it looks like. It's a very light bronzer. I'm gonna use my mascara brush again, and I would have just kind of put this all over my forehead. I guess I never really knew what I was doing with bronzer, and I had a really light hand with it. So I'm just gonna try to copy what I used to do, just like something like that. I don't even feel like you can see it. What I've done all over my forehead. There, okay. All right, now the next thing I would have done is blush. I have this Clinique blush in the shade Cupid. This is my favorite blush for years and years and years and years and years. It's probably my all-time favorite blush. It's a powder blush, obviously. It's like a neutral, warm pink shade. I have always been a huge fan of blush, so I used to apply a lot. So, that is a lot. Just using my mascara brush again. So I would have just put this all over my cheeks. See, just like that. I would have thought that this was like the best. Look how good it looks. And it looks, you know, looks a little bit powdery and it's a little heavy-handed, but we're gonna go with it because it's what Erin from 2 years ago would have been into. And we are gonna honor what she likes. A little bit over the nose, and I would have always put some on my chin, like that. Next, I would have always done brows just to fill them in a little bit, and I always used a pencil. So I have my old Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Medium Brown. So that's what we're gonna use. So I would have just filled in any bare spots with this guy. Okay, brows are filled in. Then what I would have done is I have, it's really old, so the label's rubbing off, but it's Glossier Boy Brow in the shade Brown. And this is just a tinted brow gel. And I would have used this to just set my brows in place. And this just makes them look more full and fluffy. I still really like this product, actually. I never use it, but I should order a new one. Okay, now on to like my everyday eyeshadow look. This was my favorite eyeshadow, and I'm like 99% sure that they discontinued this, that it doesn't exist anymore. It's huge. It has like 3.5 grams of eyeshadow in it, but it's in the shade Bossy, and it's just a matte neutral taupe color. This is still my go-to even now. It's just a different shadow. So I would do like I do now and just put this in the crease of my eye, like that. Then that's it for that. Then one of my other favorite eyeshadows, and I still love it, it's really pretty, is the Stila Kitten eyeshadow. So it's like a really shimmery champagne color. Still love it. So I would have taken this kitten shade and put it on my lid for a pop of shimmer. Then I would have taken like a matte brown color, and so I have this Bobbi Brown eyeshadow in the shade Espresso, and I would have taken that and just smudged it along the lash line, like faux liner kind of thing. And then I would have put that along my lower lash line too. Like that. And that's pretty much it. I would have done a mascara. My favorite was Maybelline Full and Soft, but I'm wearing lashes now, so I can't do that. So I'm gonna skip that part. But the only other step I would do is I would put on a lip balm, because I'm a lip balm girl, or I always was. And this is just Dr. Bronner's Naked Organic Lip Balm. It's just what I'm currently loving and using. So I didn't wear a lot of color on my lips. So this would have been it. This would have been my makeup look a couple years ago. Now, I wouldn't say this looks bad. I don't look bad. I look fine. I look good, you know, but I think I like my mascara routine better, and we're gonna compare the two. So I'm gonna stop recording and I'm gonna go take some photos of this makeup look so that we can compare them side by side, and then I'm going to wash all of this hard work off so we can start over again with my new mascara routine. Okay, I'm back. I'm fresh-faced. I washed all my makeup off and I put the same moisturizer on as I had before, you know, for scientific purposes. And I'm gonna redo my makeup now with my mascara makeup, and we're gonna see the difference between my two makeup routines. Okay? All right, that's it. That's my mascara, just sort of everyday makeup routine with my highlighting and contouring. Obviously, I highly prefer this look. I mean, obviously, because this is the makeup that I love using currently and that I abandoned the other routine, but it just blows my mind. I haven't done my makeup like that in a long time, and when I went to wash it off, I was looking at it in the mirror and my under eye areas didn't look very bright. They looked almost dark and it was just so cakey and dry looking, like bone dry. And I just love the glow that I have from mascara. I feel like that's my biggest takeaway. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of using highlighters or illuminators before, but I mean, just the sheen that the makeup itself gives my skin, let alone with an illuminator on top of it in certain areas like my nose and my cheekbones, there's just really nothing like it. It's so skin-like. It looks like my skin, just better. And the coverage is amazing. And I just love how dimensional it is. Like, I love how my cheekbones are so accentuated. And I like how, you know, the use of contour and bronzer really brings the focus to the eyes so that there's darkness on the outside of the face and the bright areas are right here. So you really focus in on the eyes. It's my favorite part about it. And obviously, I love this. I love how this looks. I am gonna go take some photos of this so that I can put them side by side with the other routine and we will see what they look like here in a second. But I think you know what my verdict is. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.